I'm going to make this the last week on the portrait demo, as it were. So you're welcome to obviously to finish off your work. I've not particularly brought the Lino stuff in today, but I have got a little bit of black ink. So if anybody just wants to use black, I can get that out of the car. So that's that. I think I sent the, I did send the program for next year through. So hopefully we've got that and got a chance to have a look at that. So the theme for when we come back up to Christmas will be urban scenes. So it's really kind of, I'm going to focus more on kind of buildings and streets and that sort of thing. And then obviously if you want to put people, you can do it. But later on in the couple of months later, we'll be looking at people as well. So that's for the new year. I hope you like the program. There's still room to make changes and additions. So keep finding them. If you've got ideas, you know, or something sparked an idea, we can keep adding that in. It's not fixed in stone. And next week, I thought I would just talk a little bit about display and framing. So if you've got any ideas on framing, I'll bring in a few pictures that I've framed and just talk about how I go about it. So I thought that might be of use, just as a So with this one, I've been keeping this as an ongoing demo. It's actually a demo I started maybe a year or two ago and got so far, and I thought rather than start a completely new one, I would just work on this one. So the way it was to start with was just underpainting, and then I did a little bit of the eyes and the nose. I tried the mouth in the Tuesday class and it didn't really work out, so I'll have another go today. What I've done is what I realised I did on Tuesday was I got the angle wrong, so I've just kind of made a couple of marks just with the thin paint just to kind of block it out. And I've pre-mixed a few colours that I thought would be useful. So just using the water mixable oils and a tiny bit of medium. I'm actually going to start with the top lip, and I've got a slightly purpley pink colour. So use some crimson and a little bit of yellow and some blue. Stop it being too bright. I'm not sure if you can see that. Add a bit of brown, make that a tiny bit darker. Yeah, I think that's better. I've got a tendency to make things too dark and then lighten them. And I find that a nicer way to work. I found that some students like to make everything very, very pale, but I found that if you do that, you're going to be less inclined to put the darker tones in later. So I would always sort of recommend going darker first and then lightening up as you go. So that can be time for a top lip, just using a little bristle filbert brush. And then bottom lip, there's a little bit of shadow in the corner there, and then actually shadow underneath the lip. And I think if we create that shadow there, almost what's there will kind of speak for itself. Just make it slightly darker down under there. And the nice thing about these working in layers is I can make a mark and either leave it as a mark or soften it out a little bit with my fingers. So add a little bit of light there and maybe a bit more shadow. And I want to go a little bit darker with that line in the middle. So just switch into a nice little tiny brush, little sable brush. There's just a very slight upturn at the corner of the mouth there. Soften that out there. And then there's just a few highlights on the bottom lip. So I'll just things like that and just add a little bit of white to the mix. Just want to try and get a little bit of that reflection on the bottom lip. And there's a tiny bit of reflection just above the lip too. That might maybe go to the smaller brush for that. So that, a little bit bright, perhaps wants a little bit of softening out. And then just a few, thinner marks and lines. That's a bit too sharp. So it might need a little bit more tweaking, but something along those lines. Then from there, once I've got features and I'm happy with the features, I'll basically just kind of work out, try and develop a hair and a clothing.
Okay, very easy.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Very easy.